Terps will go left to right. The Illini will go right to left as we are just about ready to go. From the State Farm Center, Ivicic versus Turkson, and the tip-off goes to the Terps. Diggy Coit handles the ball, walks out of his own free throw line, and will cross the timeline. 0-0, just getting started here at the State Farm Center. Here's Elijah Saunders, the UVA transfer, kicks it into the far corner with Darius Adams. Now Saunders, the far corner, guarded by Mirkovic. Coit runs around, fakes the three, steps back, kicks it to Adams. Back to Coit. Just towing the edge that Illini eye. Gets a screen with Turkson. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Coit for three. It's good! Picking up right where he left off against Penn State. He had 43 points in his last game, and he's got 3 here to start out. Here's our first look at the Illini. David Mirkovic down low to Tomislav Ivicic. Mirkovic into the near corner. Open three for Jake Davis. And he's able to bounce it in. Back-to-back threes. Davis, the junior out of McCourtsville, Indiana, guy who's working his way into the starting lineup, has played in all games, making one of his first starts of the season. Here's Coit to Saunders behind the three-point line. Watts calls for an ISO. Looks for Saunders, who pushed off. That's an offensive foul, and the Terps turn it over. 3-3, 18 minutes to go in the first half.
Going back to that Diggy Coit three, that was a step-back three over 6'7", Andrei Stojakovic, and Coit standing just at 5'11". And if he's going to shoot as many shots as he did on Sunday, it's going to be harder as this team is going to quickly face guard him. We'll see how that goes.
Here's our first look at Keaton Wagler, the star freshman, with a nice find to Andrei Stojakovic, looking like his dad, Peja, from downtown. 6-3 Illini, 18 and a half to play, just getting started. Here comes Coit on the other side. Dish it off to Darius Adams, the 5-star freshman. Works his way inside the arc and hits the mid-range jumper. 6-5. Maryland trails the Illini here. 18 and a half to play in the first half. There's David Mirkovic, one of the many newcomers to this Illinois team. Finds Wagler at the top of the key. Thought about the three to Davis with a no-look pass to Ivicic, who bounces it down low to Mirkovic, who lost possession under the basket. Illinois turnover. Maryland takes possession, down by 1. 18-10 to go. Clock is stopped.
We said in the pregame, Illinois being one of the taller teams, one of the tallest team in the country, and Maryland, its tallest starting player is just 6'8" with Elijah Saunders. So they're running a bit of a zone here, and so far it's forced an early turnover.
You mentioned it against the Illinois team, who stands an average height 79 centimeters tall, the tallest in the country. Darius Adams drives in with the right hand and spins it home. 7-6. Maryland takes the lead for the second time in the early goings. Keaton Wagler looking to answer. To Stojakovic, back to Wagler, top of the key. Gets a screen from Ivicic, pick and fade. Ivicic tries a three, in and out, rims out, rebound goes to the Illini. It's Stojakovic now, guarded tightly by Saunders. He gets it back from Davis. Stojakovic will try once more. He's got another. Andrei Stojakovic, a guy who only shoots 23% from behind the three-point line this season, already has 2 in the first half. 9-7, the Illini ahead. Here's Diggy Coit. Will match up against Stojakovic. The Cal transfer guards Coit now. It's Darius Adams working against Wagler. Freshman versus freshman. Adams able to avoid the line. Pump fake for Coit. Drives in with the floater off the glass and good. Getting Diggy with it down low. It's 9-all here. 17 minutes to play in the first half. Wagler will drop it off to Stojakovic. Ivicic. Back to Wagler. Back to Ivicic. Good ball movement near corner. Jake Davis three, too far, but the rebound goes to Ivicic. Double teamed under the basket. He turns it over. Xavier Watts running the other way. Against Mirkovic, he kicks it out. Adams will try a three. No good. Too short off the front of the rim. And a foul called on Turkson as he tried to swat that ball back towards Maryland. Stoppage here. 9-9, a fast start here with 16 and a half minutes to play.
Illinois already with 2 offensive rebounds, and they're one of the best teams that crash the glass consistently. So Maryland's got to limit Illinois to 1 shot per possession to keep this thing interesting, and so far it has been.
Both teams hot out of the gate here. Illinois 3 of 5 from the field, Maryland 4 of 5. 9-9, 16:35 on the clock. Back for the bottom of the first on Big Ten Plus. Before the game, I got to catch up with Terp skipper Matt Swope. Here's that conversation. All right, Coach, you've told us on Tuesday that this past weekend and that midweek against UVA was the best that you've seen your guys at the plate. What's giving you that impression?
Yeah, I think even last weekend, right, with a really, really good UCLA staff, I was really impressed and happy with the way we competed, and we kind of carried that on to Tuesday. So, again, USC's got a really, really good staff, and, you know, it's widely known right now of how on fire they are and what their staff's done up to this point. So we'll just take it, you know, one thing at a time and try to take away from the starting pitcher today who's been really good. But just really keeping it simple and competing and trying to take something away each at bat.
And then you're facing one of the top arms in the country. You mentioned it, Mason Edwards. What makes him so difficult to face on the mound? How do you plan to attack him?
I mean, it just seems like on video it really, really hides it well. He tunnels all his pitches really, really well. Obviously, he's got good stuff. His velo's ticked up a bit, and he's got really, really high carry and high spin at the zone. So the biggest thing with him is sometimes you'll see guys with really good metrics and stuff, but he can move it up, down, and, you know, in and out as well. So, like I said, we'll try to simplify it, take a few things away from him, and see if we can execute a plan today and come out with a win.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Kendrick Lamar once said, "Things get spooky every day in October." And on a cold Friday night at Ludwig, Maryland men's soccer got quite the scare from number 14 Indiana. But the Terps stars shined again, driving Maryland to a 3-2 win over the Hoosiers. Through the first 3 quarters against Washington, Maryland football was flying high. A stout defense, an offense that made plays when needed, and as much as a 20-point lead. But as the moon came up, the Huskies were turned into werewolves, notching 21 unanswered points and shocking the Terps 24-20. The Terps marched into Brooks Field against a really stout Seahawks team, and they took 2 out of 3. They won the first game on Friday by a score of 5-3, and then they beat Wilmington again in the second match of a doubleheader played on Saturday by a score of 5-1. Some timely extra base hits powered the Terps, and just like Bryson Stott's old walk-up song, if you're Maryland baseball coach Matt Swope, you gotta feel A-OK about your team's performance. Final exams are tough enough for Maryland students, but when number 2 Michigan men's basketball comes to College Park, let's just say the heart rates inside the Xfinity Center were running even higher tonight. But there's also 20 new faces. Let's learn one of them. It's the new Friday night starter for Maryland, Lance Williams. In the words of legendary rapper NBA Youngboy, Lance has been striking and throwing his heater. And now, after roaming the halls of Gonzaga, Braden Marco now will train with the best of the best over at Jones Hill House, where he looks to follow in the footsteps of great tight ends like Vernon Davis and Chigakonkwo. What was supposed to be rise and shine turned to rise and grind for Maryland men's soccer. With rain in the area, Saturday's match versus Pacific was moved from 7 p.m. to noon just 24 hours before the game. Dear Iverson Howard back deep as Maryland finds itself in a 14-point hole. Howard will let this one bounce right next to the Maryland flag and through the end zone for a touchback. So Washington will lead his Terps offense out there after throwing the interception on 3rd and 8. That was a ball, Ryan, that just went right through Shalik Knott's hands. What do you want to see out of this Terps offense here?
Just more control and composure. Knotts was so wide open running down the left side towards the left hash. He had a catch and maybe a yards after catch of 10 plus more. Instead, that's an interception and another Michigan touchdown. Wolverines scored 2 touchdowns in just over 2 minutes of game time.
They start out from the shotgun at their own 25. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Leak looks from left to right, now takes the snap. Inside zone, fake handoff. Now they find Octavian Smith Jr. on the outside. Stiff arms him at the 40, still going down the near sideline, and he's finally brought down at the 47. Nice work there. Jaden Mangum brings him down, but not before a large gain of 22 from Octavian Smith Jr.
Those are exactly the kind of catches I was just referencing. See the ball in. If you can get yards after a catch, great, as Smith just got 10 plus yak.
Now Malik will line up under his center, Michael Hershey. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Michigan puts 6 in the box. Washington play action. Got pressure around the near side, throws, and it is incomplete. Almost brought in with one hand by Dorian Fleming, cutting over the middle near the right hash. Instead, it winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10, and Washington took a lick on that last play.
Yeah, that was from Derek Moore, one of the most talented defensive linemen in the Big Ten. That was according to Mike Loxley. He puts the pressure on Washington from his blind side, the left.
Moore, the local kid, comes from Baltimore, St. Francis Academy. Here's a shotgun set on 2nd and 10 from the Maryland 47. Washington throws. That ball's caught by Jalil Farouk on the left side. He breaks through a couple of Wolverines and looks like he has enough for the first down at the 43-yard line of the Wolverines. And so there's Farouk again, able to slide around the tackle and picks up a new set of downs. Gain of 10. Ball will keep moving now at the Michigan 43. 11.5 minutes to go. Terps down 21-7 here on WMUC. 2 receivers right, 1 left. DeJuan Williams is the backfield. In the backfield with Malik Washington. He takes the snap, faces a 5-man pressure. Good protection. Malik steps up, throws sidearm. It is incomplete and almost intercepted. Mason Curtis was in there again looking for another pick. He threw it behind Dorian Fleming on the right side at second down.
It's a 2nd and 10, but those are the kind of plays that show why Maryland's offensive line, I think, has been so good this season in terms of at least protecting Malik Washington. Alan Huron, the right tackle, did a great job of shielding off Jashawn Barham. That makes it a 2nd and 10 instead of a sack. That makes it a 2nd and 18.
They've only allowed 4 sacks this season, 2nd in all of FBS. 2nd down and 10 out of the shotgun. Malik hands it off up the middle, goes Williams, and he gets a short gain. Jashawn Barham in there again. Former Terp. Talked about all the emotions running in this stadium with Maryland's senior day. Guys like Octavian Smith Jr. have a lot to play for. So does Barham returning back to CQ Stadium. Here's 3rd down and 9. Ball at the Michigan 42. Under 11 minutes to go in this first half. Maryland down 21-7. They got 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Washington out of the shotgun with a fake clap. Now takes the snap and faces the Wolverine blitz. Washington, good protection, throws over the middle. It's caught by Fleming. He rolls over near the 30-yard line. He's got a first down. That was Jordan Young who was with him in man coverage. Fleming beats him, and it moves the chains for Maryland. Terps will go no huddle here with 2 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left. Dorian Fleming, who's caught the only Terps touchdown in this game. Shotgun set from Malik, 3 receivers. DeJuan Williams in the backfield. Ball now placed at the 29. Washington takes a high snap and hands it off on the delay to Williams. He goes right up the gut behind his right guard, Aluba, and gets past the 30 to the 27. Short gain on first.
It's a simple halfback draw that we don't see Pep Hamilton call out too often. That one only gains 2 yards. Really impressed as well by Michigan's defense too. You know, Wink Martindale, who's had 3 separate stops as an NFL defensive coordinator. He brings 6, and then he only brings 3 in his zone. He's really keeping Malik Washington guessing.
Martindale most recently the DC for the New York Giants before coming here to Michigan. Ball at the 27, gain of 2 on that last play. Washington faces the pressure, 2nd and 8, steps up, under pressure, throws towards the left sideline. It is caught for the first down. Nice throw from Malik. He's able to find his receiver. Caleb Webb makes his first catch of the game. Terps in the red zone here with just over 9 minutes to go in this first half. Pickup of 12 on that last play, keeps the line moving. And here comes this ever-present Terps red zone offense. Can they convert once again? They'll start in the shotgun with 3 receivers and Williams the back. From the 15, a whistle and another pre-snap penalty. This looks like it's going to go against the Terps. So it goes on the left tackle, Ratrell Perry, who's got his hands full when he's not going up against Derek Moore, one of the captains. He's got to go up against Jashawn Barham. It's a Terps offensive line that usually doesn't allow these pre-snap penalties.
It's been one of the areas that Maryland's been clean with, Daniel. Amidst penalty struggles, especially defensively, this offensive line rarely gets those false starts at time. It's the left tackle, Perry, who picks up Maryland's first yellow flag of the day.
Puts the Terps back to the border of the red zone at the 20. First down and 15, Maryland down 21-7. Looking to answer after the Michigan touchdown. Shotgun snap to Washington. He throws into the end zone. He's got a man open. It's off the hands of Jalil Farouk. He ran a seam route, and right near the cross of the Maryland flag, it went over his hands, and a near miss for the Terps.